Entertainment news today. You're such a dragon gay. Everything sucks and it's no good. That comes out of Hollywood. But there's one place you can go to get all your news and info, and maybe even have a laugh or two. You know it's true. Midnight Edge after dark, it is life. We're stepping nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight Edge after dark. All those bombs and flops, but MEAD never stops. We will keep going through the night as we keep up the culture fight. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark.
It's Thursday night.
Do it.
Party time.
Do it.
We're doing it. We're doing it live.
Doing it live.
I got molested in a little boy's room.
As we do. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. We are live here on Midnight's Edge After Dark. It is me, Tom Connors, with a Canadian Scott something or other.
Why am I showing up as a nipple on YouTube? And yet
You're not on my end anyway.
Not on my movie.
Oh, are you on the YouTube side?
I'm on the YouTube side. I'm showing up as a nipple.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Isn't that weird? I'm not on the studio side. That is so
Of course.
bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Oh well, never mind. One nipple is
Fucking-
it's better than three, I guess.
YouTube's going down the turlet.
It is. We've had all this Twitter chat problems. So I'll always call it Twitter. And now YouTube's all over the place. I don't know. I think they're just trying to stop us.
Oh,
They hate us because they ain't us. They
that's
ain't
true.
us. They hate us because they
You
ain't
said
us.
anus. Then you said it like 3 more times.
So you're stuck with me. It's just me.
As of the moment, yes. I'm
Yeah.
kind of surprised that Nick ain't here yet. He's gonna
Well,
be
I know.
fired
He's
if
got
he
nothing
keeps
else
this
to
up.
do when he's in that padded room. I guess they
Right?
didn't let him out of his straitjacket.
Never.
Yeah.
So,
it's a pleasure
yeah.
to be here, though.
It's a Thursday, and we're glad to
is.
have you.
Well, because you've changed the start time, I can walk the dog before.
Oh,
definition.
good for you. And how
Indeed.
was it?
Yep. It was pretty good. I shouldn't take the horse next time.
Did the doggy poo?
The doggy didn't poo, which is
Uh-oh.
always a concern
Mhm.
because then there might be
Poo
wake
later.
up in the night poos, but usually not. She's usually pretty good. She does do substantial ones in the morning, I have to say. So I'm talking. I'm trying to be quiet because she's sitting behind me. I'm talking about her. She'll get upset.
She's like, don't talk about my shit.
Don't talk about me. So, but yeah, it's great walking the dog in the snow in the dark for an hour is always nice.
Now your audio just suddenly jumped up. I don't know what you did or didn't do, but
All right, I'll put the microphone, push it further, push it away. I mean, can you hear this?
it sounds like it's coming through your speakers. I'm not sure if you're set up on the right side.
What's going on? No,
I don't know. But you can hear my stuff though?
You sound great.
Okay, then yeah, it must be you.
Something weird is going on. I had to reboot before we started.
Oh Lord, yeah.
So it's
you're
all
a nipple,
tits up.
and am I a nipple?
No, you're not a nipple, just me. It's Mammary's aloft here, obviously. Everything's all gone Pete Tong.
And that's
Does it-
when the whores come in.
Does anybody even get that reference now? It's all gone Pete Tong.
No,
Maybe
I
not.
don't think so.
Maybe not.
That's why I just threw in a whores line.
See, could you hear that?
No, it's coming through like your speakers or something. I mean,
But I don't have
you're
any
playing
speakers.
or whatever. It's coming like we can hear like just the faint from your headphones or something. Like it's.
I don't know.
You get what I'm
what's
saying?
going
Like
on.
you'd almost have to go back and listen to hear what I'm getting at. But like, yeah.
Right. How about that? How does that sound?
Okay, now play a sound.
I'll play. So I've tried.
Give me the meat and give
Now
it to
you're
me
good.
raw.
Now you're
Okay.
good.
Right.
Whatever
Okay.
you did, it's good now.
I just switched it off and on again.
You're a winner.
So nobody knows what I mean when I say it's all gone Pete Tong. I guess he was a DJ from the house era, wasn't he? But wasn't there a movie? It's all gone Pete Tong.
If there was, I don't remember it.
I can't remember either.
I apologize.
I can't remember. I'm in mourning anyway because we lost a blues brother today,
Yeah, Duck Dunn.
Steve
So-
Cropper.
Or Steve
Duck
Cropper,
Dunn
I
will
mean, not-
Duck Dunn will obviously
Ah.
be extremely upset to know that he's now dead.
I knew what you meant. So
Well,
yeah,
Duck
Steve-
Dunn died in what 20?
I was gonna say that's probably where I
12?
got.
So he's
that's where I
died
was
again.
going.
Duck
He
Dunn's
died
died
again
for the
today.
second time.
The second time. This is just a strange incident. He was on a mission from God.
He was on a mission from God, yeah.
But yeah, no, we lost Steve Cropper today.
Steve
Sorry about
Cropper,
that.
yeah.
That's what
Well,
happened
you
when
know,
show
they
up
were
to
both
Stone.
in Booker T
The
and the
Blues
MGs and the
Brothers.
Blues Brothers.
Well, that's
And
true.
that doesn't look anything like him.
No, so whatever. Fuck this website, the New York Post. I don't know why.
I usually go to the guitarist websites to look at this stuff, so you
Yeah.
don't get any of that crap. But yeah, he was 84. And when you look back at it, I mean, obviously, we all knew he was heavily involved with Stax Records, but he didn't just play guitar. He wrote songs like Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, and he produced stuff like In the Midnight Hour and all that kind of. He was a producer as well, you know, engineer, producer, guitar player, all round good guy, and blues brother
This is true.
with the wildest hair in that movie.
We're getting the band back together.
Getting the band back together, yep. So he was.
Oh my God, if I could find one website that I could just oof.
I know. I
Hang
had to,
on a
I
second.
always look for the sort of guitar world and stuff like that as a guitarist. Oh, thank God
time
that
you
sexy
fucking
beast
get
is
here.
here.
The fuck, dude.
We're gonna have.
I was about to send out a search party.
We were just killing time.
Well, I was originally ready.
Please check out every pizza joint within a 30-mile radius. Look for the kid who looks like he's gonna go. Like he's got big chops. Big
What the
chops.
fuck are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know. He looks like Lemmy. Okay.
No, I did check Rigid at 705, 710. I'm like,
Fucking-
all right,
I'm gonna
he
kick
must be out coming
X's
back from Kill Bill or
ace.
something.
Are you
And
checking? Are you checking your phone? Or are you checking the computer?
I was checking my phone.
Oh,
That's
it doesn't
why.
show up in the phone.
We
No,
figured that
Oh,
out for some
dude.
reason.
We
We
found
figured
that
that
out.
out.
This thing is Ricky Retardo.
Fix your
I
shit, Elon.
hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Elon, you'll really mess this one up. You gotta do something about that because
And
I was waiting. I was checking. Like, no, I should get on the computer. Oh, look, I got a message from Tom with the link.
message from Gad.
Oh, but anyways, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hello. Did you enjoy your Kill Bill double feature?
Well, we're going to talk about that, but real quick,
Okay.
we're going to finish up this conversation about this guy who got a
Sure.
who got a
Steve
message
Cropper.
from God, or he's on a mission from God now officially. Steve Cropper, Booker T and the McGees, and of course the Blues Brothers. So as you
Yeah.
were saying, Brian, before
Well,
Nick
Green
came
Onion. I remember I'm old, as you know, and I remember listening to Green Onions way back in the '60s. It was recorded in that record was recorded in 1962. It still sounds like it's from the future. If you ever hear Green Onions, if you know the track I'm talking about.
You were going back to the future when you were listening.
I was. I thought I was living in the future when I listened to Green Onions. It's got that spooky sound. And then these jagged guitar riffs that he just inserts in there. What a record.
Everybody knows
Brilliant
that
record.
song.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic song.
I didn't know he had anything to do with Dock of the Bay, though.
Yeah, he co-wrote Sitting on the Dock of the Bay because he was,
No shit.
as well as being in this Booker T and the MDs with the Stax house band and recorded all these songs.
Oh.
But as well as that, he produced and engineered a lot of those records. So he was working closely with Otis Redding and Wilson Pickett and all these guys. So he's he was a top man. It's a sad loss.
I mean, I knew they were all pro. Like, that's the thing with the Blues Brothers band is, you know, you can, you know, say what you will about John Belushi or Dan Aykroyd, which both in their own right were decent, somewhat musicians and singers, however you want to put it. But the band they put together behind them was full of veterans and, you know,
well, it was
industry.
I mean, they had Duck Dunn and Steve Cropper and all sorts of other great guys from that era. Stax,
Even Paul
era.
Schaefer, technically. But yeah.
Paul Schaefer, yeah, although he's Canadian, but we'll forgive him for that.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, like Knock on Wood, Soul Man, all these records, he was heavily involved with all of those. So yeah, and then he worked with rock artists as well. He worked with Jeff Beck, John Lennon, Neil Young, several times with Neil Young. He's just any genre really. So, but he's a real soul man. So it's sad
In the morning sun,
because he co-wrote that.
I'll be sitting when the evening comes,
Yep.
watching the ships roll in.
You know, even though I heard that song for years, I always affiliate with Top Gun.
Then I'll watch them.
It's not gay, Nick.
Not
The
gay.
song's
enough,
not gay, but the movie is.
Yes. The song
Now,
is
if
not.
the song was "I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, sucking some cock, wasting
God,
the day."
You've just ruined
That
that
would be
record for
gay.
me forever. You've just ruined that forever for me.
Buddy.
I'm so
Sitting on your
mad.
cock and sorry, sitting. Mac Guitar Murphy, that's right, that's the guy who was also in that.
That's
Come
his
to
Tom Bone
ya.
Malone. Tom Bone Malone, yeah.
Dusty road.
Bone Malone.
What a great band that was.
I want
Anyway.
to Bone Malone.
Yeah, he will be
So-
missed. That's too bad.
Yeah, he was still playing with the Blues Brothers band. He was still touring with all that collective, that were the ones that are still alive anyway. So
And don't forget the good old Blues Brothers band,
and the good old Blues Brothers band.
or good old boys Blues Brothers band. Which is it? Yeah,
What two types of music do they play?
country and western.
And Western.
That's
I have
right.
the video clip of that, but not an
Both
audio clip.
kinds.
So I can't play that right now.
Both kinds.
Both cats. So he plays a mean rawhide. That's true.
Rawhide.
Raw Heine. Nice.
Anyway.
State of the art sounds.
Sad news. Sad news.
Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, it's too bad. I didn't even know about that until you told me coming into the show, Brian. So that's too bad.
Well, if anybody wants to know more, they can always check out my tribute video to him.
Oh, you did one
Wait.
already. Cool.
Yeah, I was just talking to camera. I didn't
Mm.
video produce a video, if you know what I mean. Just so it went live. Well, not live. Recorded.
He says that, and then you go over
Few
there, and
words.
it's like this very touching,
600
like
video
Oscar
clips,
style, like
3D, sweeping intro
I
music.
will remember you.
Let It Be playing in the background.
Yeah. When I find myself in times of trouble. Speaking of that, did you see the new version of the Beatles anthology yet?
I did not. I don't have. Is it an Apple TV?
Diz Turd Plus.
Yeah, it's just Turd
Turd?
Plus, is it?
Yeah.
What's
No,
the whole
no,
bird thing?
the thing is, I don't even have a 4K TV, so is it in 4K? I don't know.
It is technically, but I mean, they remastered it in HD. So the
Hmm.
main anthologies, it's the 8-hour version, right? Like the
Yeah.
one that they.
Which I've
And
got
then they
multiple copies of already.
Yeah. Well, I got the DVD. Actually, I still have the DVD sitting right here.
Yeah.
But then so it's all these because when they
Yeah, I
showed
got
it
those.
originally on
I've got
ABC,
the-
it was.
I've
yeah.
got the VHSs.
I remember that. That's like a 10-pack or whatever.
Yeah, it's sitting behind me next to the DVDs there.
And then they re-released the anthology with a new volume 4. But then also when they showed it on Disney Plus, they have another additional episode which covers how they. It wasn't as in depth as I was hoping it would be. It was kind of more fluffier than I was hoping, but it was about Free as a Bird and Real Love.
So there wasn't a lot more footage though. There's not a lot more new footage.
Not really. It was mostly just them talking a little bit about how the anthology came to be.
Yeah.
And then, getting the tape from Yoko, and then them in the studio a little bit and talking about Free as a Bird and Real Love and a little bit about some of the stuff they added to it and didn't, and stuff like that. And then now and then there's a little bit about that. But then, it's mostly made up of just the stuff they recorded in prep for the anthology.
Sure.
So
yeah, because it's just more footage of the Threetles then, as opposed to the Beatles.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. No, I probably will get around to seeing it someday, but I don't have.
I'm sure they'll release it on Blu-ray eventually.
I don't have Disney Minus. I mean, I was wondering, because it's on Disney Minus, does that mean they've race swapped them and gender swapped them?
Yes. Well,
Right.
Paul's now a lesbian, Blasian, and John is a K-pop star.
All right, John's Asian now.
Yeah.
It's not surprising.
Well,
Is it
K-pop
really?
star.
6 fucking bullets. Not one hits you.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, as I've always said, it's a real shame that what we got Anthology, and John, before he was killed, had signed off on it on making that. So they would have all got back together, but fate intervened. So Tom's going to sing something there.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. I'm a K-pop demon. Keep spit in your eye.
Anyway.
There's a tempest in me.
Hell yeah.
It's funny.
What's really weird is that George Harrison is now played by Ernie Hudson. I don't understand.
Harry Georgeson.
Because they needed a black guy in the group.
Ernie
So
Hudson
Ernie
plays
Hudson.
George Harrison. That would be interesting. I know they're making these Sam Mendes is making these Beatles movies, and I'm still not quite sure why, but anyway, it's not like there's anything we don't know.
Did you know that George was black?
George was black Irish.
Little black Irish.
So I'm just curious what the ideal diverse casting would be for the Beatles if you were to go that route.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Ringo
I said,
would be
Ernie
Chris
Hudson for
Tucker would be
George.
Ringo.
Chris Tucker for Ringo. I want to be under the sea, man. I want to see some octopuses. Octopi.
The pie. Anyway.
You wouldn't be
moving
the
on.
octopi's garden.
Octopi's garden. I don't know. I think it's a challenge. The alternative cast, what would it be? That's I would pick Chris
Melissa
Tucker for Ringo.
McCarthy is Melissa.
Is
Yeah,
Paul
Melissa McCarthy
McCartney.
is Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney. That would work.
I'm the fool on the hill.
And then he could be in a group post Beatles called the Dave Gilmore Girls.
I'm rolling down the hill. Oh, that's gonna
See,
leave a mark.
I thought that was funny. The Dave Gilmore Girls.
Dave Gilmore. Yeah. Oh Lord.
Because Dave has worked with Paul a few times. So.
Has he?
Yeah, oh yeah. So no more Lonely Nights. Dave Gilmore plays the lead guitar on that, and then
I didn't know that. Fuck, I did not know that.
So the solos on that are all Dave Gilmore, and then
Really?
because he did the entire Run Devil Run album and live concerts for that to support that Paul's rock and roll album of 1990.
What were the hits off that one? Because that one's one I don't. Not
What,
sure.
Run Devil Run?
Yeah.
Honey Hush was a single part. Geez, what other ones were singles?
It doesn't sound like one that was
Party. There's a song called Party, and they're all old rock and roll songs. And
Yeah, I don't think I have that one.
Run Devil Run's Paul's greatest solo album, in my opinion.
So I
Dave
have a
Gilmour's
few
lead
of the
guitar.
Scattered Wings and Paul albums, but not all of them. So that's my own fault.
Well, I could give you I did a video
You did.
some years ago when Paul
Send
turned
me
80 of my 10 favorite Paul McCartney albums. So watch that and you'll know which ones to get.
There you go. Let's see what you guys are talking about out there. Jeremiah Hembry says, Tom, I know you've seen it on X that they won't shut up about Snyder coming back. Why can't they just realize he's trying to get a job? because unemployment isn't really good in Hollywood.
Well, he's working it quite well, I think. I mean, he's doing what he should, working the
He's
system.
doing the same thing he did last time. He's just trying to get hype going. And it's not like there was speculation about using bots to get the Snyder Cut. He said it himself. Well, at least it got the movie out. So we don't even know how many people truly were rigging the system in order for it to get made. So, like, he didn't deny it. He outright was like, yeah, that happened. He knew it. He didn't deny it. So, as far as happening, if there is a country that can make it happen, as much as I don't want it to happen, it would be Saudi Arabia, because those guys pay up the ass to get things made and wanted. The only thing is, if you were to get made, like, who I don't see Ben Affleck coming back. I could see maybe Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot coming back. But you're gonna really tell Jason Momoa you can't be Lobo anymore. You think he's gonna come back? And I say it as a massive fan of the Aquaman character. I don't see him being done. Yeah, maybe James Gunn could be gone. Sure, let's just pretend that's a possibility. But you're not gonna get the cast the same way. And you really want Ezra Miller back? You'll really want Ezra Miller back?
That's the only one they could get back.
What about Amber Turd?
You want Amber Turd? Oh, and you also want Cyborg Ray Fisher? Really? The guy who has a hard-on for Jeff Johns and Walter Hamada and Zack Snyder all at the same time?
Yep. You're never going to get Affleck, and I don't think you would get Cavill. He's got Highlander coming out.
He would come back. To be fair, I think he and Gal Gadot, if anyone were to come back, it'd be those two. But Affleck would not do it. It maybe feels as I think Andre mentioned in one of the videos, maybe in like an animated form. But as far as physicality,
where do you think he got that from?
I don't know where you got that idea from.
Me.
I didn't know that. I was just going off what was said in the video.
Yeah, no, like I had heard something about that, and that's a possibility. But
to see the Saudis funding Snyder to do it, as long as he wore a burqa through the entire thing while making the movie.
Durka.
A burqa for the Durka.
Yeah,
and he has to film it in the desert in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
in 140-degree heat.
I'm not gonna say that it can't happen. It's just it will not look the way you want it to if it does happen. But to be fair, Snyder fans are not common with DC fans. You'll have the exception, and that's what they are, the exception. But Snyder fans are mostly Snyder fans. They can accept anything as long as it's got the Zack Snyder name on it, and they'll be fine with it.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of people that are freaking out right now about Netflix because Netflix is in the front running. It sounds like to buy Warner Brothers, if they even sell. Like, that's the big asterisk that people aren't really even keeping into.
I hope they don't, but I hope they remain at Warner Brothers.
I hope this doesn't happen because I'm just, as I've said many times before, I'm just tired of all these constant mergings. It's like we recognize, okay, there's these sinking ships. What can we do to keep the ship afloat? Just merge again.
It's not just that, Nick. Everyone involved in corporate mergers, the drivers behind it always make a shit ton of money and then bail out.
Yeah, no,
mergers make big money for a handful of people and then they bail.
Yep, you're right. That's a big problem too. They're there for the paycheck. It's not there to make anything creatively better. If it was, I could forgive the element of the guys running away with their money because I say, okay, you know what? At least they're going to have some creative drive out of this. Nope, we ain't even going to get this, even if this were to happen. So I personally hope this doesn't happen because of that. So now that you mentioned that, Sunday, that's a great point. But going back to the Snyderverse, like I said, even if they do, let's just entertain it as possible. It's not going to look the way that you guys recognize it, if you even care.
I don't care that much.
And the Snyderverse had its chance in 2021. 2021 had it all going for it to prove it. If it was meant to be a success, it would have done it then. They had not many big new releases coming out. They had the whole floor open for them with streaming, and people are still in the Kung Flu lockdowns, and they could have made a big break with that. And then on top of it, they should have had it with the physical media sales, which, hey, even Snyder bots buy physical media, which I'll give them credit for doing. they would try to say, oh, it was this massive success. I was like, yeah, it's a massive success because there's not much else out there. So even on its own merits, that's not saying much. It didn't turn out to be the hit that they're hoping for. If that hit thing had come out with, let's just say, everything else in 2017, 18, 19, it would have not done much better than the Joss Whedon cut. Maybe it would have done slightly better, maybe, but that's not saying much because it was going to always suffer because of the fallout of BVS. You can say all you want. BVS was a big success. It was a big success the same way Spider-Man 3 was. It had big opening weekend numbers, and then it fell like a crater after that first weekend. So by that logic,
I remind everybody,
Spider-Man 3 deserves to be considered a great movie by Zack Snyder logic too.
Well, and not only that, like I pointed out many a time as people were trying to make this a Man of Steel versus Superman thing, it's like, no, the problem is, guys, is that BVS was what killed the Snyderverse.
Yes, it was. That. It wasn't
all
the
damn time
move itself. Even the Snyder cut, it wasn't that.
That was already compromised from the start, and then it was completely, reconfigured. Not completely reconfigured, but cut down more or less, and brightened up by Joss Whedon at the end of the day, just because they were freaking out at that point. But no, that's the thing that most people forget about, and at the end of the day, the bigger deal here is this whole Snyderverse shit is pipe dream bullshit. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to y'all. It's pipe dream bullshit. Because do you really think that the Saudis are really going to buy Warner Brothers just to bring back Zack Snyder? Really?
I don't know. They've done stranger things. They've done more stupid things in the past. Like
here's somebody who's got something to say about it.
That's the thing. I don't put it past them to make that stupid of a move. That's the thing. I don't put it past them.
I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen,
they got made to dispose of. Go ahead, Tom.
We've got somebody who has not been on in a little while, and I know he's got a lot to say about this. Probably. Here he comes, Script Doctor.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Whoa!
Since when are you guys on this late?
We moved to 7 o'clock now. You must have missed the message.
Hey, over here for donuts.
X is really got to figure out to do their links there because I clicked on what I thought was a link and it scrolled me up to like something else. I clicked on that. That's not what it was. And geez.
Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So the Snyderverse crap, like.
I mean, all I can say to that audience is, sure, Jan. Like, you want what do you want? We want a 44-year-old Gal Gadot Wonder Woman?
Well, wait a minute. That's a bit ageist, isn't it?
Well, that's what I said, though, Script. And Script knows what I said when I posted this, because I think you even liked the post, where I said, look, sure, let's just say hypothetically, in quotations, that if this were to actually happen, you do realize that it's going to be like 5 years before they actually get something going, right?
Yeah, at least.
At least. They are not going to just dump this now and go, oh, you know what? Let's just give Zach another try.
Yeah.
Well, they could give him other things to do.
No, they won't. He's kind of persona non grata at Warner Brothers. I mean, after he
I don't mean Warner Brothers. I mean the Saudis.
Oh, the Saudis? Oh, yeah. Well, the Saudis, they'll hire anyone that can make something for them.
Exactly.
Except for a person like me. They're like,
well, indeed, there's a certain group of people that they won't hire. That's right.
Yeah. If you have a different holiday around that's not Christmas, they will not hire you.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the only reason why I can see the Saudis making it. It's not about if it can be big. It's just the amount of money that they had to dispose of. Shit, they would just do it just because they're Florida manning their money. But maybe that could also be to their detriment to a point that I'm not aware of. Maybe Script would know on that. I'm just speaking of it.
You can't count the Saudis out. They're like really advanced now.
2018, they actually allow women to drive in Saudi Arabia. They allow women to drive. It's like practically a lesbian utopia over there.
The thing is, they allowed them to drive. Do they actually drive? That's a different thing. That's two different things.
Yes,
I spent a couple of years there. I made an enjoyable experience.
I made a joke this morning during a production meeting that it'd be funny if one of Canada's 5 national banks purchased Warner Brothers because it would be the easiest. it would be the absolute easiest ownership deal ever, because you don't have to worry about FCC violations. You don't have to worry about monopolies, nothing. It's just, this private bank has now.
Is it still technically under Canada as a Canadian company, or is it?
So there's the original Warner Brothers company that started in Canada. Then there's its subsidiary, which is essentially the big one that's in California. Okay. And the weird aspect about it is that all of the paperwork stuff is done in the U.S. for copyright purposes. And then there's stuff that goes on in Canada for tax purposes. And then there's stuff that goes on in the UK for tax purposes. So it's assumed that it's all the same company. But I mean, this is the same issue that AT&T had when they acquired it. They were lucky to acquire it because their parent company kind of did all the groundwork for it right now. The merger with Warner Brothers Discovery makes things a lot easier because Discovery itself is 100% American-made company. And so they did a whole bunch of asset transfers over there. But the thing is, like, there's property in Canada that is owned by Warner Brothers that is still used by Warner Brothers Studios from the old days when the company was founded, like over 100 years ago. So it makes things really messy.
Hey, that's a franchise they could bring back. Rin Tin Tin. That was a Warner Brothers.
Yep.
No one
remember
that one.
I mean, it's really complicated, but the weird thing that, like, there's some weird stuff going on right now in Canada. Like, we've just we secured some sort of deal with the European Union with regards to like resources and military support, because we've had some breakthroughs in the last year and a half with military manufacturing up here, which is like, what, in Canada? So yeah, and the other part too is we have an increase of like 75% more productions happening in Canada this year for film and television than we've had in previous years. So there's a lot of really weird stuff going on here. I do think it's funny because I think, Tom, you're probably the only other person that mentioned this, is so Zaslav's main purpose with these bids is to see what is in the best interest of the future of Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers Discovery. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to sell. What it means is, would the new owners who, if we do sell, would the new owners be doing a better job with the company at the behest of the stockholders? So it's one thing if they're going to do the rumored asking price, which I think Zaslav wants like $80 billion for.
Funny you say that, because that's what I've been saying all week. Or actually like 2 weeks now, is like, it's all these bids are hilarious because now they're calling for a third round.
Yeah,
which I'm like, Zaslav is doing exactly what I said he was doing. I said he's just kicking.
The stock's going up.
Exactly. I just say he's kicking back, watching the stock going up. Yeah. Keep making us offers. Because I've been saying for a while, like, these $70 billion, $71 billion offers, they're lowball. Yeah. They are lowball. As much as people are like, oh yeah, that's what's going to, no. Zaslav is going to tell him to go piss up a fucking rope and come back with a few more zeros. Because at this point, Warner Brothers is huge compared to Fox. And this was my point all along, was that Fox went for $71.3 billion. Doesn't matter if it was worth it or not. That's what the market set it at when NBC and got involved and Disney jumped in. Yep. So at that point, that sets the floor for something like Fox. And Fox didn't have shit in comparison to Warner Brothers. They don't have the music. They don't have the IPs. They don't have the back catalog. They don't have the television shows. They have shows, but not the amount, right? Like, that's my whole point.
Yeah. And they have a handful of rights that are... Actually, the only thing that Disney has that Warner Brothers wants is the William Dozier's television distribution rights to Batman.
I think that's still kind of wrapped up or whatever. But
like, they have a deal right now, but it's not the same as like Warner Brothers wanting those rights, which they do.
Regardless, at the end of the day, like, as I've been saying before, the magic number is probably going to be $80 billion. Now, if somebody comes in and slaps a $80 billion cash offer on the table, then Zaslav would probably take it because that's in the best interest of the shareholders. But don't think that means he's going to go anywhere. And
no, he's not leaving.
And that extends to DeLuca, Pam Abdi, and James Gunn, and Safran. So, like, unless these people are bought out of their contracts or it's negotiated in the deal somehow that they can be worked out, it ain't happening. And the thing is, and the reason Ellison wants Warner Brothers is because they're the number one kid on the block right now. And he's acting like a big ass baby right now. I don't know if you saw this or not. But
well,
he's shown his true colors finally.
Well, here's the other part too, right? So let's say Ellison does a bid of, say, $76 billion for Warner Brothers. Zaslav just has to look at the stock, look at the last 2 years of Warner Brothers under his leadership, and basically pose this question: will Ellison be able to run this company better than he has run Skydance and better than the projections of him running Paramount, because he's untested? So that creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is the biggest deal breaker you ever want in the studio system, in any acquisition system. Ellison has only been part of Skydance for a while, but he's only just recently taken over Paramount, and he has no credentials to his name as a leadership of Paramount Studios. So him wanting to buy Warner Brothers is the most arrogant thing he can do. It's the most dangerous thing he can do, because he's untried, untested, unvetted. So any good that he does there, if Zaslav says, yeah, it's not good enough, and you know what, I don't think we need to sell, because they only have to sell if the bid is good, if the prospects are possible, and then the deal closes, I think, May 30th of this of 26. But if the prospects at the price is good, but the prospects would have a future negative impact, or high chance of a negative impact for the company, Zaslav can justifiably say, you know what, I think if we stay the course here, we'll make more money than if we sold to another company. And all he has to do is say, yep, we're not making a sale, but we'll entertain bids after the May 30th, 2026 deadline for other prospects. And you just
and that's what I've been saying
over and over again.
Unless they get a deal that comes out that's big enough, they're just going to split up like they initially had planned.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, they're just going to sit there and watch their stock go up to where it should be to begin with. And
this has been the one thing that the players in Wall Street that have been suppressing Warner Brothers stock has been so upset about, because they hate Zaslav. And
and we brought this up when they downgraded their stock.
They downgraded their stock. It's like, how can you downgrade the stock of like the biggest studio in Hollywood right now with the most successes consistently over the last 2.5 years? It's like, how the hell do you do that?
Yeah, which takes us back to Ellison, which is what he wants. And you're right. I love your I guess I could throw an analogy out there. This Ellison is basically like a kid who just got a Mustang or a Charger, and he hasn't even driven the son of a bitch yet.
Or has a license.
he just got his license, but he hasn't driven the damn thing yet. But now he's gotten so ahead of himself that he's like, you know what? I love this fucking Charger so much. I haven't even driven it yet. I'm going to go buy me a stock car. I'm going to be a race car driver. That's what he's acting like right now. It's like, dude, you haven't even gotten behind the wheel of that other car yet to see if you can drive. You're thinking you're going to jump into this other car that's much faster, much more powerful, and much more for you to handle? Good luck, kid. Like, you're going to be a fucking smear on that wall before you know it.
And that's exactly wearing a helmet outside of that car. That's the thing.
Shit. Well, look, him taking over Paramount, I have less of a problem with, because I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, maybe there's a chance he'll do something, because maybe he was just, you know, maybe he wasn't a big of a part of all the failures that's come out of Skydance and Paramount over the last 15, 20 years. Maybe not.
It's hard to tell at this point.
But on the other side of that, okay, give him a chance with something like Paramount. It's a little smaller deal. But can't be jumping in here on doing fucking Warner Brothers. No fucking way. And it's the biggest mistake in the world. I don't want Netflix to get it. I don't want anybody to get it. Period.
Well, we know Comcast won't get it because of the amount of music that they own.
That's the thing. Yeah, they may be making a bid, but they're going to have to sell off the music rights and some other television stuff, I bet, too, if they have to.
Well, yeah, Comcast would have to be broken up into maybe a half dozen different entities in order for that sale to go through, at which point you've really just made a lateral move. You've gained nothing out of that.
And the FTC is never going to let the music sale go through.
No.
Never. And for those who don't know why, is because right now, there's only 3 companies that control all of the music: Warner Brothers, BMG, Sony, and Universal. So the Universal can't buy Warner's music department. So that means they're going to have to sell it off to somebody else anyway if they want to sell to Universal. And that's just one thing.
Yep.
And who knows about the other stuff. The only thing that they got going for them is they don't have a network. So that leaves, you know, Universal a little bit more open-ended, and same thing with Paramount. But Netflix, outside of Trump saying, you know, don't even bother, I'm not so sure he can even say that, because what is technically stopping Netflix from buying Warner Brothers? That's my big question.
Nothing, really. They're the easiest ones to close the deal. They have to leverage Netflix heavily in order to afford it, because their stock is valuable, but Netflix is always hemorrhaging money. But the reason it's so valuable is that everybody has a subscription, so that gives it a lot of
they just
latitude for more lines of credit and more loans.
I was gonna say they supposedly just went out for a credit loan or whatever for the deal if it goes through, and they made the highest bid so far. So
yeah, I haven't heard what the number is, but I bet you it's over like 72.
I mean, once it starts creeping into that 75 range, that's when Zaslav has to consider.
Well, yeah, that's when he goes to the board and he goes to stockholders and he says, "This is these are the cases of these are our projections and case scenarios for what would happen if we go with, you know, Netflix or Skydance Paramount." And you just have to crunch the numbers. And I would say Netflix hemorrhaging money makes it bad for business, and especially for a studio like Warner Brothers, which has been the fastest studio to pay down its debt compared to any of the others. It's also got some of the lowest debt there. I think even like Skydance Paramount's, how much do they pull up? They have like what, 47 billion of Paramount's original debt is now under their marker.
Yeah, and then is that another thing I was wondering about? I wish Mikey was around to kind of answer this question. That was one thing I was wondering too, is if fucking Ellison's game with this wasn't if he wasn't trying to undo some of the debt that Paramount has by acquiring Warner Brothers and spreading it out somehow, because I don't know how that all works, but I know companies have done that kind of shit before where one company's drowning in debt and they'll buy them up. And
you can buy them up, you can offload the debt to the other company, then you
exactly, yes, that's what I mean, offload
insurance. And yeah,
before we continue, 70s has to go.
Oh, already, man?
Unfortunately, sorry. Well, we started late, didn't we?
I guess so. You're
so
right.
I got a domestic deadline.
It is already.
So
take care, sir.
No, I'll see you guys later. Cheers. Have a good night.
At least you got to hear my thoughts on Kill Bill. You guys will hear in just.
I did, yes, and and yeah, as somebody in Reddit was saying, unironically, oh, he should have released it as 2 movies.
Oh,
Reddit. Good night, all.
Yeah, and I'll have a few things to say about that too. Take care, sir. Check out 70s Rock Fans channel. So again, this whole Paramount, like, so Ellison's bitching and pissing and moaning about something or other here. I haven't even got a chance to really get into this much. So it says David Ellison's company is pushing the regulatory angle hard, insisting it's the only suitor with a clear path to closing a deal or closing based upon decades of legal precedent. In a letter from its counsel to WBD, it insists rival offers from Netflix and Comcast both present serious issues that no regulator will be able to ignore. And that's not his fucking prerogative to worry about. That's Warner Brothers.
Yep.
So I don't even know why he's acting like a little spoiled child who can't get his way because he knows their offers are probably bigger than his, and he's pulled all the money he can. What it sounds like.
Well, I mean, if he had eyebrows, he could have sold those for a few extra bucks, maybe added them into the bid.
Maybe.
The other part too is this reads like he feels like he already is owning Warner Brothers, and he's talking about like why they're trying to stop him from owning it. Again, it all comes down to, do these companies with their ownership and with their current history of productions and success and failures, is their ownership in the best interest of Warner Brothers? Because there's the quick financial thing, which is like, okay, yeah, we sell the company, a bunch of the shareholders, they get their dividends, they sell their stock, they walk away, a couple $1 billion richer, happy to go. The rest of the company, the ones that don't want to walk away, the ones that want to stick with it and see where this goes, what is the new leadership going to be? Because Zaslav will most likely stay in the game, but there's always that big hiccup, which is, the person who's really paying the bills at the end of the day always gets the final word. And and I can easily see a situation where if Ellison gets the company, Zaslav still had the studio, but what's to say Ellison isn't going to do a Bob Iger to Bob Chapek and then slowly push him out in some way?
That's always a plausibility too. But again, I have yet to have anybody come to me and tell me why legally, regulatory wise, Netflix can't buy Warner Brothers.
No, they absolutely can. They're the best ones suited to do so. It'd be horrible for the industry, but they are the best ones suited to do so.
And not only that, they would have the best defense with Amazon buying MGM. Now, you could argue that MGM was barely a studio, but they could say, well, we that's unfair practice that you allowed Amazon to buy a studio, but we can't. That's what they would probably argue in that respect. Because that's where I'm sitting here going, okay, again, I understand where David's right on Universal. We already talked about why Universal would be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's what I'm saying is, and to be clear, I don't want anybody to buy Warner Brothers, especially Netflix. But again, I digress. I have yet to hear anybody tell me a good reason why regulatory, the FTC would step in and say, no, you can't do this, Netflix. You're creating some sort of monopoly when Amazon already owns MGM.
Right. I think that best the counter argument would be MGM's value compared to Warner Brothers. Yeah, it would make it financially distinct enough from a studio like Warner Brothers to be able to allow for an acquisition, which means you don't have a grounds to your grounds for acquiring Warner Brothers under the same grounds that Amazon acquired MGM just does not hold water. The value difference is too great. There it might be an angle with streaming because what is it? HBO is like number 4 or number 3 compared to Netflix in position. I'm
not sure offhand anymore.
Yeah. But
so I know Netflix is number 1. That's all.
Yeah, Netflix is definitely 1. Disney's not 2 anymore, I don't think, right? They dropped.
No, I think maybe Max or Paramount are. Now I know Paramount's made some. I don't know. This is where we need like Culture Casino in the house.
Yeah, I can't remember who's second and third place are, but I know. I mean, HBO Max is definitely in the top 4.
It should be, yeah.
And that's an issue, right? Because now you're like, oh, well, you have HBO Max would be merged. What would it be called? Netflix Max or HBO Netflix?
Well, that's going to happen whether Paramount buys them, Universal buys them, or anybody buys them, because they'll just be. And I brought this up too. Is like there's going to be another combination, like when Hulu and Disney Plus are now basically one and the same.
Yep. So I mean, it's a complicated measure, but I mean, the only obligation that Zaslav is required to do is he is required to entertain bids and try and get the best bid for the company. He is technically not required to sell the company. That's a different tier. Because again, Warner Brothers is not officially up for sale. Someone wanted to buy them. And they said, well, we're legally required to entertain any offers because that could be in the best interest of our shareholders. And that's it. They haven't put up a for sale sign on their lot. And why would they do that? They're the king. They took the crown from Disney as the king of Hollywood.
As of now, they have, yeah.
And
which they haven't done since like the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how long they're going to hold on to it, but I mean, the longer they have it and the less likely that Disney's ever going to get it back is better for entertainment on a whole. Hollywood itself, in regards to like California, is almost non-existent. Like the entertainment industry is alive and it's losing a lot of weight, but it needed that to lose that weight. But it's not living in California anymore. It's in parts of Atlanta, it's in parts of the UK, it's in parts of Canada, it's in parts of Europe. It's not in California, and it's not going to be back in California until there's a massive political change in that state.
All right, well, let's keep moving on with the super chats. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle says, hi, y'all. Sorry to hear about Steve Cropper. Yeah, it's too bad. And then Mr. Watson MJ says, Angry Badger says he accepts your fight to challenge. I don't know. There was money involved in that, so I don't know if he's got the cash. FKHC 2005. I don't even remember. It was all on Yellow Flash. It's something about like he's trying to fight me, and I don't even care. FKHC 2005 sends in $1.99 to say, send some love for Clobbering Times. Thank you so much. And then he also says, did you hear about the premature ejaculation conference? It sadly got canceled. Everyone came early. Oh. That's interesting. Werewolves in the House and been a member for 53 months. Thank you for that. Soul Nightmare says the Weirdos are trying to use Zootopia 2 to dog on Superman, but BBS was beaten by Zootopia and MOS lost to Frozen, Minions, and Iron Man 3 and Gravity. Yeah, and I put a post out on that. I'm like, so what's the actual domestic foreign split, and how much of that big bucks that China injected into their box office is China going to keep?
Between like 60 and 80%.
At least.
Well, the other part too is you have a completely different viewing habit demographic today than you did 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, streaming was not a dominant form of entertainment in 2013.
No.
And then the other part too, you also have to equate Man of Steel had an excessively high budget compared to Superman.
funny how they don't want.
They don't want to acknowledge that. Yeah.
And it's funny how, you know, Forbes later, after I said, wait until we find out how much they made from like product placements and all that shit to see what the deal is. And they finally did that story here a couple weeks back where they're like, oh, actually Superman probably made somewhere in the $100 million range. It's like, gee, what did I tell y'all? Because there was a bunch of fucking deals, even more.
That's the Forbes article you're talking about?
Yeah, because...
Oh, yeah, I remember the Forbes article. Yeah, I remember
because
that now.
Here's the other thing about the Man of Steel versus Superman thing that everybody was doing that I was one of the only people pointing out is that you do realize these fuckers are counting in all the product placement from like the IHOP deal and all that shit for Man of Steel.
Their cross promotions were through the roof.
Yeah, but then Superman had a hell of a lot more. Like I think like 125 compared to the 100 and whatever it was that 106 I think it was that Man of Steel had.
Yeah,
and the I'm sure the bone one alone from a Milk Bone was huge, probably.
Dude, the pet market with crypto probably just put them over the edge because everything that I was hearing about Superman's production is everything was paid for by the time it hit the screens. Like they were in the clear, just like with Lord of the Rings. Like Warner Brothers tries to do this all the time. Lots of studios try to do this all the time. They have their main distribution channels, but they also go to the foreign film market, international film market to do pre-sales to make sure that they're not spending their own money and that their profits are at a higher rate, because the way that the film market works is they pay you in advance of to invest in the movie before you make it. The part of the deals and conditions is that they retain usually 50% of ticket sales up until they get their money back. And then anything over that amount, they get to keep as part of that 50%. And the rest goes to the studio. That is your basic kind of deal. That's a lot of agreements that are already default with a lot of the major theater chains. That's why they start out with 50%. And after X amount of weeks, it goes down to the theaters take less than the studios, the studios take less and the theaters take more.
Yep. And that's why they started doing the streaming thing after about a month. And that's going to come to a head here pretty soon. I know it will.
Yeah.
But Werewolf reminds us that Saudis also bought WWE, don't forget. Here's the thing about this, and I said this yesterday morning on the morning show.
They tried to. They didn't happen. TKO owns them in the UFC. I'm surprised it actually didn't happen because Saudi Arabia paid up the ass for certain wrestlers to come out of retirement, because once again, when I say they had disposable money, they do. Like there's a guy you don't know wrestling, but there's this guy who's a big name in the 90s called Shawn Michaels, and they managed to bring him back for one match, and it was like his first one, like 10, 12 years, and he doesn't want people to remember it, but it shows you like the effective power the Saudis have had an influence on all these big American companies. This is all I'm trying to get at. That's why I'm saying if it were to happen, I wouldn't be surprised because of the way the Saudis spend, because it seems like they Florida man the way their spending goes. But carry on.
Here's my thing is because Andre did a video about this, and I'm kind of getting to this point where I'm like, are they really trying to gain influence, or are they just trying to be relevant and diversify what they're doing? Because as pointed out in Andre's video, they're only a couple decades away from running out of their only resource. And when they do, they're going to be fucking broke.
They're not spending any money to find more oil reserves or dig deeper or anything of that nature.
And they sunk a shit ton of money into this line deal.
Oh,
that was supposed to be done by 2030. Yes.
That was just more honey.
So I'm starting to wonder if they're just trying to diversify, because that's the whole thing with the South Park joke and all that business. Like, yeah, they're becoming more progressive. It's like, that tells me that they're not trying to influence everybody so much as they're trying to catch up with the train. Because they're like, oh shit, we're going to get left behind. And if we don't start getting a little more progressive, none of these countries are going to do business with us, especially if we're killing fucking, journalists and shit. Like, that's kind of where I think this is going. Could be wrong, and I'm not trying to stick up for them. I'm not saying they're not above trying to influence things. Don't misread me, but I just think at this point they're kind of desperate. I think they know in their next generation, they're going to run out of their only resource they have.
Oh, and their monarchy might be overthrown by the people.
Because the only thing else they got is sand.
Hey, glass industry could be valuable.
Is it even the kind of sand you can use to make glass? I don't know.
They can refine it.
No, that's just it. Now you got to pay to refine it, see?
Yeah, you got to pay to refine it. You got to pay to ship it. You got to pay to move it. I mean, that's why I've been laughing last couple of weeks with. I mean, listen, I do not like the Canadian government at all, but they're making some weird decisions that look like they're going to have some huge benefit, and then there's some other decisions which look like they're going to destroy our country. But our oil exports are going up to other countries, and we're getting some really good rates on that. We're shipping more food across the Atlantic and the Pacific. We got a deal going on with Japan right now. Like, yeah, the Saudis run out of oil to sell. Well, guess what? Canada's got more than enough to
Everybody
step in
else
that
does.
gap. Yeah.
Well, and this was the problem with them selling as much as they had been over the last, few decades, and where their wealth had boomed. Well, everybody knew this was going to happen sooner or later. This is why everybody's like, well, why doesn't the U.S. just start tapping into their shit? It's like, why should they when they're buying oil as cheap as they are from all these other countries? They'll hang on to it, and then ours is going to be worth a fortune by the time.
Well, I mean, the only thing that the U.S. has to do is they have to either build or retrofit some of their processing plants to be compatible with the oil that's under your surface, which going to take a decade, but it'll be very, very useful once they get it done.
Well, and and that's one of the reasons why I love that landman speech when he's talking to that one lawyer chick about how this is really working and how basically we don't have the infrastructure ready if we were to stop using oil tomorrow, let alone when we run out of it, right?
Well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only thing they got wrong in that speech, but I mean, I think they did that for dramatic effect, is the carbon footprint of the wind turbines. Those things actually become positive, like beneficial after about 6 months to a year in operation, because the amount of oil you needed to grease them and maintain them is a fraction compared to the energy it can generate. But yeah, outside of that, no. Like
that might also depend on where you're putting the son of a bitch too, though.
No. I mean, I think the design is completely flawed because they're.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you put them in a place where they're going to catch a lot of wind. You're probably right, but if you put them in a place where there's hardly any wind and they just got a fucking field of these bastards doing nothing, then yeah, they're probably more to cost to maintain. But no, I'm just getting into semantics. But anyway,
but you're not wrong. Like let's put them in this one place where there's literally no wind.
Right. Yeah. Soul Nightmare says Ellison is an idiot who will run into the ground, and Netflix would strip it for parts. Universal would be the safest option. I don't disagree with you here, but I still don't want Universal to get their hands on it.
Yeah.
Now, this is still a plausibility after the split, too. See, this is a thing a lot of people haven't talked about much, aside from myself and maybe Valiant and a couple others like that, where it's like, Universal is probably more or less just kind of waiting to see what happens after the split, and then they will start picking apart certain things there. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to buy it up front now, or they're going to be able to either way. So, but I mean, I don't want this to happen any more than anybody else does. So, in anything, I'd rather see like Sony merge with like Warner Brothers or something like that.
Yeah, it would be more feasible.
Right. Well, I mean, just to kind of keep them both into a position where they're kind of competing with Disney and Universal.
I think that's one of the issues. It's just smaller and smaller these industries are, with a few companies running everything. We need more companies. We need tons more, rather than just the few mega industries competing against each other. What's it going to come down to? Disney versus Warner Bros. For the control of everything, and then comes down to one, and then one company owns them all. That's what I'm concerned of, is the long play. That's why I don't think any outcome of any company merging with Warner Bros. Period is good, because they've already gone far enough with AT&T and Discovery. Why go the next step with anyone else? Because that's where we're going. That's where we're headed. And we're just going to continue to diminish creativity even further if we continue down this path.
Oh, it's not just the diminishment of creativity. You're cutting your jobs in half as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're not wrong there too. I agree on that.
Like, again, whenever you see like two companies merge together to kind of form like a hybrid of some sort, it usually means that both those companies are in trouble. And the irony is that Warner Brothers is not the one in trouble in this position. It's, Paramount Skydance has got to figure out what they're going to do. They've made some announcements, but again, untried, untested. Netflix is, very tried, but they just want the studio infrastructure and also the clout that comes with Warner Brothers and their library to, get on the playing field of the other studios, which, the industry is saying, yeah, Netflix, you're not really a studio, and you keep trying, but you're just not making it.
SFX F314 Sabretooth Raptor says, saw a real DeLorean car, saw TMNT hot chocolate. Tom, are you going to be doing Comics Division holiday special like before? Are they even doing a holiday special? Because if they are, they haven't even told me yet. So, yeah, if they are, then I have not been made aware of it. But I would love to participate. So, yeah. So on that note, we do have a couple other stories here I wanted to bring up. Looks like, well, before we move into this other one here, let's quickly address that I guess Scarlett Johansson is sticking her dick in something else now besides The Exorcist. Now I guess she's going to be in the Batman Part 2.
I heard about this. This one made me laugh because the rumor I heard is that Matt Reeves is maybe entertaining the idea of using a Mask of the Phantasm adaptation for his sequel.
Oh, for shit's sake.
Which means if he spent the last 3 years trying to rewrite the best Batman feature film to ever be released for his own sequel, the guy's a fraud and a hack.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Like, what the hell? Like, you could have been the laziest thing and just said, yeah, let's just take the original script from Paul Dini and Dwayne McDuffie and co. and just shoot that live action and call it the Batman Part 2. Fine. But no, he spent 3 years trying to figure out a sequel to this, and it is a derivative of an original Batman film. If that rumor is true, that is absolutely horrid.
How old is she?
Scarlett Johansson, she's 41.
41. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, she is close to his age. You could be right. I mean, I don't really give two shits. I don't even care what character she could be playing. I want you to be right just so we can laugh at it.
I mean, it would be pretty hysterical that he spent that for the Batman 2. Other rumors are like Zoe Kravitz isn't coming back, so is ScarJo replacing her as Catwoman? Probably not.
No, I think they just mean as a love interest is the deal, but yeah.
Yeah.
If she's probably playing anybody besides what's her face, Al Ghul or whatever, is it's probably going to be Poison Ivy, I bet.
Well, I mean, Scarlett Johansson is a natural blonde, so she could be Vicky Vale. She could be
true.
Anyone else.
True. And then Soul Nightmare says, "Oh yeah, Matt Smith is in the lead for Brainiac." It's not a bad choice. I can see that.
Not very inventive. You know who would be a really good one? Let me. I can't keep forgetting his name.
Pedro Pascal.
No. No. If you want a guy that could be a really good Brainiac, Patrick Fabian from Better Call Saul.
Okay.
He played Howard Hamlin. He's got
I'm not familiar with him, but I'll take your word at it.
He's got a very he knows how to do a voice that's both cold, partially robotic, but also having a sense of calmness to him.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen to just go grab any watch the first 2 episodes of Better Call Saul. He's in there. He plays Howard Hamlin, blonde guy or bleached white hair. Listen to his voice because it's it could be very creepy for a Brainiac.
Wow.
Now I swear we heard this story before, but yeah, this dropped today. Men in Black 5 is in the works at Sony with Will Smith, supposedly.
Well, after Men in Black International, I guess they have to go back to the original.
But the funny thing about this now is what's hilarious is I thought Will Smith had already signed on for one after his big slap incident. But now the way it's reading here is that his character's in the new script in hopes that he will sign on.
Huh. Maybe it was just a general deal with Sony for something else.
I don't know. Maybe he was just in talks and nothing came of it. Who knows?
So is it like Men in Black in action?
I don't know.
Because I
doubt Tommy Lee Jones will come back though.
Oh, isn't he semi-retired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they back a dump truck of money up to his house, maybe.
I mean, it's going to be a lot of close-ups on Tommy Lee Jones because he can't probably run or walk or do anything anymore.
Because let's be real, what is this going to be? This is just basically going to be Will Smith in the Tommy Lee Jones role with a young spunky chick.
Maybe, yeah. Either way, Ed Solomon's not
L.
going to get any money from it.
And it'll be played by like Elle Fanning or some shit like that.
Oh God, I saw that thing for The Burbs.
We're getting to that.
Oh yeah, it's just no.
Look, I love the first Men in Black. The second one was ass. The third one is kind of.
Third one is like 60% good.
Yeah, it's like kind of yeah, it's all right. But I never watched Men in Black International. I have it, but I've never watched it. Who wants Men in Black 5?
I mean, listen, this is 21st century marketing. Their desperation to capitalize on something that's already established in its own industry is their crutch. I mean, I miss the good old days when every IP that they were making was based off of a novel or book or a recent New York Times bestseller that only a fraction of the world had actually read. Because remember the old saying when a movie would come out, oh yeah, the book is better. That was the most common thing to say when it came to talking about new movies since the 60s all the way up until the early 2000s. Now it's way more of, oh, well, the original movie was better. Or the remake wasn't as good.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And yeah, this is part of the whole problem. This is all about IP anymore. We've talked about this, ad nauseam, but yeah, so the other thing you brought up here, which is fucking Christ. I remember hearing about this, but I thought it kind of got lost in the shuffle and wasn't going to be a thing. But then all of a sudden this fucking trailer drops. Let me bring this up here. Christ, I gotta go find it. I had it here and then I fucking lost it. But yeah, so we're getting, it's done. It's coming. A remake of The Burbs for Peacock. See, that's the other thing too, is like, if this was a TV series, maybe I wouldn't give a shit, but not like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, fuck it.
How long has the house been empty?
20 years.
You don't think that's weird? They had a daughter who
Died.
in the house. So are we gonna go in?
Do white ladies love salad? Hell yeah, we're going.
This is already fucking stupid. It's a gender swapped version and they didn't learn shit from Ghostbusters, did they?
No, but I can feasibly believe that women would be more interested in nosing around some neighbor's house than a bunch of guys.
You're not wrong, but still, this already just smells stupid.
Well, this is the part here. Is like I need a bit more of like the dynamic between these three before I can believe it.
Well, it's already almost different enough. You could have just made it its own fucking thing.
That would have been nice.
Which one of us is the murderer? Your face.
Oh, it is a series.
Yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud. But they still gender swap. So this
I mean, if they use the same family names, then it's gender swapped. If not, it's just a series.
Oh, yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, like you can write a pretty funny thing about a bunch of housewives snooping in on a.
Okay, fucking Paul Chatto.
You can, but the
God
thing is,
damn it.
The thing is like, do your own thing. Make it like Housewives or the
like call it Neighborhood Watch, and it's about
Neighborhood
a bunch
Watch
of nosy
or Homeowners
fucking...
Association. But instead of homeowners, you just do like whore owners or something like women homeowners association.
Where were you when they were writing this shit?
They're not the people that I know. They're not close enough to NBC Universal right now.
We're part of the Women's Housing Owners Renters
Women's Homeowners Association. So WHMO.
No, I had a better one.
But there's another acronym in there that'd be very funny.
Women's Home Owners Renters. What's with something with an E?
Renters Estates.
There you go.
Renters Estate. Whore.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. Like,
exactly.
They're like, wait a minute, it's whore. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Shit.
Well, we can't change it now. It's already been trademarked.
We already made shirts.
We made shirts. We got business cards. The signs are up there.
Maybe we shouldn't have lined the words on top of each other.
Like, well, if we make an acrostic, would that look worse? Would that look worse or better? It just doesn't matter. It's still
the only one of us that has big enough boobs for that is Barbara.
There you go. There's the counterculture thing.
Exactly.
Homeowners, rentals estates.
That would have been a much more interesting series. Like I said, a bunch of empty nesters who have nothing fucking better to do, and they just start nosing around their fucking neighborhood. And yeah, it's kind of like The Burbs, but it's not exactly. But like, yeah. And I don't know. I'm sorry, but calling it The Burbs like this and having a black lead, isn't that a little racist? You don't really think about it when it's, Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher, but
well, I mean, The Burbs has always been for the suburbs, but yeah,
I know, but you know what I mean? Like
that's the other part too. Without Carrie Fisher, any follow-up to The Burbs just is not going to feel whole. Like, she played such a minor role, but she was such the voice of reason with impact in that.
I wouldn't be surprised if she script doctored that bitch too.
Oh, I would not be surprised either.
But I wonder what Joe Dante thinks of this. Anybody know what he said about this yet at all? Anybody?
I think he signed off on it, but I don't know if he got
has any
creative
control
input
over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not, is my guess. But he'll sign off on anything for a fucking check. Have you seen that fucking Mogwai series they did? Jesus.
I didn't see it, but I mean, the guy's been getting screwed over by the industry for a couple of decades now, so I'm not surprised.
Well, what's the beauty of it is you weren't here for this, but did you see when they did the whole announcement of when Gremlins 3 was coming out? All of a sudden now Chris Columbus is the director of the first two. It's like, motherfucker wrote the script they didn't even use. Like,
yeah, he is. What the heck? Chris Columbus. Okay, you guys really did your due diligence there.
Yeah, I don't know who made that deal, but that was pretty dumb. They could have got Joe Dante cheaper anyway. That's the other stupid part.
Yeah. I mean, he's such an underserved director. He should be one of the powerhouses in the industry. And
he ain't been doing shit since Looney Tunes. That fucked his career. Back in Action screwed him over because I think that was his last big studio picture.
Yeah, I think...
I mean, he's done a few movies since then, don't get me wrong, but they all been lower level indie type shit. And I think he even did like a Shudder movie.
Yeah, he did. Well, I mean, he did TV for a bit. I remember that.
That's what I mean, yeah. As far as I know, Joe Dante has zero involvement with Gremlins 3. But then again, he might have been like, I'm good, but thanks, too, because he's done that. He did that for years with Part 2, so.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I can't see him turning down a big fucking paycheck, and especially if they're like, well, just do whatever the fuck you want, like they did with Part 2. Because say what you will about Part 2's box office at the time, it's become a cult classic, and I think they would probably be better served to kind of do a hybrid of the first two films in a way. And I don't know what Chris Columbus is going to do with it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he'll emulate the first film. It's just going to be a sad reboot-quel of the first film, I bet.
Yeah, maybe. Just, it's the next generation. Let's bring back Phoebe Cates.
If they even get Phoebe to come back.
Yeah, I mean, well, her kids are all grown up now, so she wants to. She's got the free time.
But regardless, it's going to be Billy and Kate go on vacation, and their kid gets stuck watching Gizmo, and she makes all the fucking mistakes that her dad made, and yeah, we all know that's what it's going to be. So, anyhow, was there any more stories? Forgot. Oh yeah, Kill Bill.
Oh yeah. How was the whole bloody thing?
It was basically exactly what I expected it to be. For those who may be curious what is different, what isn't different, it's the version, as far as I know, that he showed at Cannes, outside of maybe the animated extra, because I think that might have been made brand new for this. I'm not 100% sure. And all that is another scene of her killing one of the other guys that was at her parents' murder, Oranishi, that is. And it's a guy that I thought was Bill originally. I guess it's some other character named Pretty Ricky or something like that he's called. The guy in the white suit.
Oh, the one for Lucy Liu's character?
Yeah, I thought that was Bill, I guess, for years. I didn't realize it was a completely different character. So I just always assumed it was. And even Brian said, yeah, I did too. Like, Otherwise, the big difference otherwise is the Crazy 88 fight has a few additions to it, and it's all in color. There's a few little bits and pieces here and there, but no additional scenes that were like the deleted scenes or anything like that people were curious about being added to it. None of them were. In fact, there's more things missing outside of additional gore. And that would be the things like I've said to people, and that is like the Sophie discussion is different when B doesn't find we as an audience don't find out that B has her kid's still alive until she finds out in the movie.
Oh yeah, that was the original.
That's the original version, yeah. So, and that's the same way here. In fact, they even took off the "I'm on my way to kill Bill" part, which initially, as far as I know, on the bootleg version of the whole bloody affair I saw, that's what led the film off. But they don't have that here at all. Period. So, yeah, and of course the intermission is right in between where the two movies would be anyway.
Of course.
And I'm sitting here going, and I'm thinking, this movie's going to be 4.5 hours long. It's going to get split up over 2 discs anyway when it gets put on fucking Blu-ray and 4K. So what the fuck is the point of doing this? Like, honestly, I think Tarantino would have been better served still releasing it as 2 films and just doing it as like a special edition and chucking in all the deleted scenes to each one and releasing both movies as like 3-hour epics. I think you'd been better served. Because, like, I honestly, like 4.5 hours in the theater. Add in that the fucking theaters showed over a half hour of fucking previews before the movie. Literally 40-some minutes of previews.
Yep, that's the SOP right now. Theaters are getting a little bit more money from those commercial airings and previews than they used to because, again, they have to offset the cost of trying to of all their upgrades and investments that they've done into their screens, into their seating, into their maintenance, into their conversions from the traditional projectors, which then became obsolete, to all the digital projectors and the hard drives and servers. And yeah, they if the theaters were still the crappy seats that were there when we were kids, tickets would be more affordable. And
I went to a crappy little theater to see it, and I wish I hadn't.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the thing. Because
for a 4-hour movie, you probably want to be in something a lot more.
I regret it now in hindsight, because here's the thing: when initially I looked into the movie, like last week again, there was only 2 theaters within driving distance that were showing it, and I'm like, fuck, it's like 90 minutes. Whew. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, I went to check again to go buy my tickets, and a bunch of theaters had been added. So I let people know that on X. So you might want to check if you hadn't checked in the last 24 to 48 hours to see if there were tickets anywhere near you and you just decided not to go because there wasn't. Because I guess they added a shit ton more screens. Now, unfortunately, the one I went to see is in a tourist town, and it's a little bit shorter drive, but it's a shitty rundown little theater, and the screen sucked, and I kept telling them it's like out of, not focus, but like everything was wobbling, and like none of the left surround sound channels were working. It was a fucking horrible experience. Old seats. So I'm sitting in this theater for 4 hours by myself, mind you. And this is why I was on my phone the whole time. Because nobody's noticing. Like, they didn't even come in to fix the movie right. They were up there and they're like, I don't notice it. And I could hear them and I yelled at them. I'm like, no, you can see it right now. Especially during the intermission part where the letters were like wobbling. And I'm like, and they kept messing with something. I'm like, yeah, you fixed it. Now it's worse. Now you fixed it. Now it's worse. And then they just left it alone. Like it was, so I don't know what the fuck was wrong with it. So I'm like, Jesus, this is why I quit going to this theater years ago. But I shit you not, it's the only theater where I ever have problems still like that. It's just like every fucking time I go there, there's a problem. This is the same theater where I went to where it was supposed to be Jurassic World movie and it ended up being Deadpool, and they kept flipping us around on theaters and I lost my good seats because they don't have assigned seating.
Oh.
Yeah, and got pissed and left. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm not going to sit in the fucking... Because it was a 3D movie, and I'm not sitting off to the corners on a fucking 3D movie. Fuck that.
Well, yeah, because the 3D movies are stupid for that.
Not only that, I got there early enough to where we were sitting in the middle of the fucking theater where I wanted to be, and we had to flip-flop twice, and it was bullshit. So I was like, fuck that. But anyhow, that being said, no, if you get a chance to check it out, it was fun. I recommend seeing it in a more comfortable setting than I did. That's for sure. And the intermission is nice. It is nice because you can get up, take a piss, go get some more popcorn or whatever you want to do. It's long enough that even if you have to wait in a little bit of a line, it's not that big of a deal. I think it was like 7 or so minutes, maybe 6. It was more than 5. I know that because I was sitting there waiting for a while for it start back.
Well, a 15-minute is usually your best take because there's always the risk of lineups.
It wasn't
especially
that
going to the
long.
washroom.
I mean, it wasn't that long. It was probably closer to 10. I want to say it was a little less than 10, but way more than 5. So it was like somewhere in that region. And the only reason it felt probably longer than it really was is because it was kind of boring. It starts off with music, and then when the music tapers off, then it's just literally a white letter saying intermission for a few minutes. No sound or nothing. So you're just kind of sitting there like waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting.
Countdown clock would be helpful.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There'd be like a countdown clock or something, you know? Or I was figuring, you know, like Tarantino, I was like, I'm kind of curious. I'm going, well, how much am I going to be able to miss of the intermission? Because knowing him, he'll probably throw in a bunch of fucking weird trailers and shit or something. Like from old B movies and kung fu movies or some shit.
I mean, that would also
expect that of
defeat the
him.
purpose of the intermission because it's like, oh wait, I don't think I ever saw that trailer.
I guess you're right. Cannibal Grimm says it is 15 minutes. So.
Should be 15 minutes, yeah. Because if you've got a theater of say between 500 and 750 people, and you have a 15-minute intermission, and you have two washrooms for men and women with 10 to 15 stalls each.
Actually, this place had a lot of bathrooms.
Yeah, you're gonna need at least. You're going to need 15 minutes in order to cycle through all those bladders.
Well, and Davina, you know, what's sad part is the two kids that were up there trying to figure it out, both of their ages put together were probably still younger than me.
Yeah.
It's like they barely looked like they had peach fuzz on their face. And the one kid
Yeah,
probably still
younger
was
than
in high
me
school.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not in this instance. I did not. I just figured, fuck it. I already sat through half the movie. I don't get like that as much as people think. Most of that is just a lot of time, either just me playing it up, or I just get aggravated with stupid people, and there's other shit I can do, like dishes. You know, like I'm not gonna, and you know, it's like some people
I just sort my recycling right now. That's far more useful than whatever this is.
Exactly. No, and that's kind of how I deal with it. It's like, you know what? There's far better use of my time right now than this bullshit.
You should just brainstorm like a list of things that you could, of comic things you could do that then you could point out as what's better to do than whatever it is you're doing that you want to leave, and then just use that as like your walk off
instead of just leaving next time. Yeah, I could do that.
It's like
especially
I can go shave my cat.
I can go shave my balls.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta go shave my balls right now
with an electric saver, and possibly even get them yanked in there and caught in there and have to go to the doctor. And that'd be better use of my time.
Here you go.
Become a fucking statistic like an American Pie kid.
It's like, I'm going to go out for I'm going to be like all your dads and go out for a cigarette and not come back.
Shit. Nick, you've been so quiet this whole fucking show, man. How you doing there? You still alive?
I'm alive. Right here.
What's coming up next week on Toxic Tuesday?
Deadpool 2. Yes, sir. Episode 199. So, no, it's going to be huge. It's going to be great. And, of course, Saturday will be Clobby's Comic Shop as well. So, I'm looking forward to that. Should be tons of fun, you know. And then I'm sure if you put 2 and 2 together, I think you can figure out episode 200 will be the following week. And, there's a new Jason Statham movie coming in January 30th called Shelter.
I saw the trailer for that. Yeah.
I hope it's retardedly great. As long as it's Jason Statham.
It is the most Jason Statham movie I've seen a trailer for a Jason Statham movie since the last Jason Statham movie.
That's all I needed for it to sell me and for me to probably love it. That's all I want, and that's all I'm going to ask for.
They should just start making movies like called Jason Statham stars as Jason Statham and Jason Statham kicking ass again and again.
I watch it again and again. I buy every version of it. Blu-ray, 4K on Jason Statham on 4K on 4K Jason Statham. It would just be like, whoa, all these Ks, all these 4s, all these Stathams. Yeah, I'd be a fan. But I see this coming here, and it's probably being targeted at me. Megadeth is releasing a movie next month for a limited time. I wonder what that's on. Could you put some context on that, Void King? Because is that like a limited release?
I would assume it's probably
I know
like
the new album
or something.
I know the new album comes out next month, their final album, which is self-titled Megadeth. Good choice, by the way. So yeah, I'd like to know more details, buddy.
I'm sweating bullets already.
Ooh. Hey, somehow, you know, no one's buying from all the piece that should have been selling from a long time ago.
Yeah. And then Spinal Tap have a concert coming in IMAX too.
Ooh,
At
Nice.
Stonehenge.
I want to watch that.
The end continues again.
Well, no, they're doing a concert from Stonehenge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're going out there literally.
Literally going to Stonehenge. Did you see the Spinal Tap 2?
I did.
movie?
I mean, first one is always better, but
Well, yeah.
there was a lot of clever stuff I enjoyed in that one.
I was more mad that on the deleted scenes they didn't have the Marshall amp bit. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I heard.
The infinite. This one goes to infinity.
Yeah.
Like, how do you process that? This goes to infinity.
I really did like the cheese stuff. That was funny.
It never ends. It just
Music
keeps
is fun.
going and going and going, like until you can't hear it anymore. No, it's still playing, but you hear, the human ear cannot process the frequency of the loudness. So then, doesn't it sound like you're not playing at all?
But I am.
Please go to infinity.
Yeah, go to infinity.
I mean, you could. I'm just speculating because like they talked about it in almost every fucking interview, but it's not in the deleted scenes. It's not in the movie. They even talk about how it got cut out of the movie because Marshall did make the special amp for him, I guess, for the movie. I would imagine it's obnoxiously big, but you don't ever see it in the movie itself or something like that. But yeah, that's what I would imagine. But anyhow, yeah, some of the jokes were kind of but I thought it was pretty good overall.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it still felt plausible with these guys.
The best bit was probably the Paul McCartney bit.
Paul McCartney bit was pretty funny. I couldn't help myself with the glue store.
I'm the glue that keeps the band together. So, which is funny because if you're paying attention, he's the one that fucking broke them apart.
Broke them apart, yeah. By not telling them anything.
For one, he's the one that slept with David's wife, and then he fucking lost him a bunch of money in that Bitcoin scam. It's like, I'm the one that keeps them all together. No, you're not. You're the one that broke them up, technically. As much as a band that comes together and breaks apart. Anyway. No, I'm glad to hear you liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Again, not like great, but pretty good. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, the one thing I did see on my commute, the sequel to The Family Plan, the Mark Wahlberg family comedy action thing.
I didn't even know that was out yet.
Yeah, Apple did not do the best rollout for it. The only reason I knew about it is that one of the stunt guys I was working with on this project right now is in the movie, and he's like, "Yeah, it just came out. You want to see it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, we'll see it." Yeah, it's pretty good. It does have one kind of big aspect, which is the motivation for the bad guy is non-existent. And there's an easy way to make it work, but they didn't do that. But, you know, the dynamics, the characters, dialogue back and forth, some of the jokes, some of the action scenes, all are fairly solid for that type of film. It's a worthy follow-up to the first. So, you know, go check it out.
And do you have script on Saturdays still going?
Yeah, we just did our 100th episode last week. We're starting the next 100 this Saturday. This Saturday's show is called Until You, and it's about it's supposed to be, it might be a romantic comedy, or it might be a thriller disguised as a romantic comedy. I don't know yet. I'm reading
Those
it.
Sound like True Lies to me.
Yeah, well, it's two perpetually single people end up falling in love, and then they find out that they're horrible, that their backstories are something horrible or something. I'm hoping it's not a Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing. And
aren't they remaking that anyway?
I think Amazon did a series with it.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did it already. You're right. Hey, we got Mr. Burger in the house. Says, Tom, put in a good word with Jonas, Pro, Culture, Nick, and Script Doctor to do my Ultimate Trivia Pop Culture Challenge. We want you to be one of the judges, February 2026. Well, Script's right here, so you put the word in yourself. Nick's here as well, so you put the word in there. I will do my best to pass this on to the pro guys, though, and let them know.
It's all timing for me. I'm absolutely interested. I'm always down for those type of shows. Anyone who knows me, on streams knows that I take a lot of pride and have a lot of fun when I can do it. It's just all about the timing for me, because My schedule is very tight, but I'm willing to make some wiggle room for a man named Mr. Burger.
That's right. He'll wiggle into tight spaces. Because he's full of pride.
Cool.
It's true.
That's exactly what you just said.
It's true.
I might be free in February. I don't know.
All right. Well, yeah, because you've been awfully busy. And that was where I was saying, like, I'm surprised you hadn't been in here yet, but I guess you just are now discovering that we do start a little later, because I know that's part of your problem is you're just getting home or not getting home yet until after we're just getting done or whatever. So
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing that's been pretty fantastic for me is like, because of the amount of like fat cutting of all the, the DEI stuff, the non-merit based people things, all of them kind of being pushed out of the industry. I'm getting work. And the other part too is I hope it stays consistent, because the WGA has their negotiations for their next contract coming up this summer. And I do know one of the things that they want to push is trying to get back to the standard 22 episode order per season for shows that are not miniseries.
There you go.
So that's on the docket.
And I already shared this, Mr. Burger, with the boys over on the Slack, so hopefully they'll see it and get back to us and let you know ASAP. And with that, we're going to wrap things up. Check out Nick's channel, check out Script Doctors, check out Brian's channel, and of course, Mr. Burger as well. And with that, take care of yourselves and each other. See ya.